Hey, it's Kasim with Solutions 8, and today I want to talk to you about something that I've been noodling on, something of an epiphany that I think is really relevant for marketers, of course, but business owners in general. And the question that I'm going to ask you is one that you should pose to yourself often, and especially within the confines of any marketing initiative that you're running. The question is who are you serving? And here's what I mean by that. If I think about my own business, I run Google Ads for people. So let's say that you are my client and you're a lawyer. While you're my customer and you're paying me, you're not the only person that I'm serving. As a matter of fact, you might not be in the hierarchical structure of this particular service arrangement. You might not even be the most important person that I'm serving. The most important person I'm serving is the person that I'm helping to find you. So while you're my client, they're the one that I'm serving because they're going to Google looking for legal assistance. And the end value ends up sort of, manifesting itself for them. So, obviously there's the fiduciary responsibility that I have to you as somebody who's paying me to make sure that I'm doing the best job that I can possibly do. But if you think about the change in paradigm in understanding who it is that I'm serving, it forces me to do a few things. Number one is I have to be really choosy about who I select as a client, because if I begin to consider the person at the end of the road, the end result, if I am going to serve them and I'm going to approach my marketing with that view, then I can only take on a client that I really believe in, that I really know and trust. Will provide this person with the absolute best service. And I think that that's a really important paradigm, because oftentimes one of the things that we run into when we're advertising is when things aren't working, or that they're not landing, or it's not connecting. Sometimes it's not the marketing. Sometimes it's the product market fit. It's the higher end strategic approach, or it's just the fact that the dots aren't connecting. Maybe we're going after the wrong people. Maybe we're not really serving the people that we should be serving. So, using a less linear example, let's say that you're selling a product and you're selling a cup holder for whatever reason, or a tea cozy, and it's just not a great tea cozy. As an advertiser, you may look at that saying, well, okay, my customer is the person who is selling this tea cozy, and I need to sell as many of these darn tea cozies as I possibly can. Where in reality, the person that you're serving is the person who wants a warm teapot. And if it's not a great tea cozy and it falls apart and it smells and it's lead-based paint and whatever, I don't know how tea cozies are made. We have now failed at serving the person that is in this value string, one of the most important people. It requires of us constant and ongoing attention to the entire commercial train, the entire train of commerce. So it's not just about what it is that you're trying to do or you're trying to accomplish. It's also about who's going to end up with this. Another really good example, I think, is schools. We help, you may or may not know, depending on how many of my videos you've watched, but we have an agency specifically for Montessori schools. And the school's customer is, of course, the parent, but the person that they're serving is the child. Now, they serve their parents too. Obviously, there's a community approach there, but we can put ourselves at a disadvantage if we're not taking the child into consideration, strong consideration, when we're marketing these programs and we're putting things in front of parents. It can be to your benefit to modify the way that you're approaching the conversation in order to repel people that are going to bring a situation forward that isn't going to serve everybody at the end result. So, really, I think what I'm saying here, now that I've talked it all through and sort of rambled a little bit, is we need to approach every marketing campaign we build with a win-win-win paradigm. It absolutely needs to be a win for the client, of course. The agency needs to win too, of course. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. But the end user should be in this trifecta of winning. And I don't believe that enough organizations or clients or agencies really take that into consideration. I think oftentimes we have this really weird view that people are lemmings, and if I build the right funnel and I say the right words and I have the right tagline and I put my ads in the right way with the right segment, that I can get all these idiots to just mark down this assembly line and buy whatever it is that I want to buy with the order bump. And, I don't know that anybody's overtly stating that per se, but that does seem to be the subconscious communication that we make when we're training people on marketing. And it's that's sort of intrinsically housed in clickbait things like, the one subject line that performs 3,000 times better, or, the one video sales letter that we use to make $15 million. It's like, in order for that to be true, people would have to be stupid. And there would have to be kind of like this magic secret sauce, these abracadabra words that you could use in order to get these stupid people to do stupid things. What I'd like to posit is that we all stop and make sure that at every step in everything we're doing, we're helping to serve everyone involved in the process. And if we can do that, then it will take a lot of what can fail about a marketing campaign and subvert it entirely. And maybe it means that you don't get the client. If you're an ad manager, if you're an agency, that could just mean that, I'm not going to work with these folks. They don't have enough of a value proposition. They might not even be bad people. It's just, they can't do what their competitors can do for whatever reason. They have old antiquated equipment or whatever. And in some instances, you may say, well, that's not my job. It's not my place to tell somebody whether or not they can or they can't. And I guess I agree with you. I would probably lose that argument. If you wanted to be really bullish with it, but my business will be better for having made some of those distinctions. And I think yours can be too. So I'm not going to go off and dig into everybody, the granularities of every person's business, but I do think that we should only be representing people that deserve to be represented. Google is a meritocratic system. It's built in order to deliver the most relevant result. And we have to work with people that can rise to the top of that meritocracy, because those are the people that are going to be successful. And the way to do that, the way to really make sure that you're on the right side of that line, is think about the end person. Who is it that we're serving? And what's in their best interests? And let's make sure that we're constantly considering, not just the client, not just the advertiser, not just the agency, and considering the end result. And there are multiple layers to this conversation. We have a customer who sells software meant specifically for financial professionals. And there's, of course, us, the agency, and then there's my client, who's the software, and then there's my client's client, who's the financial professional, and then there's my client's client, who's the person who wants to retire. That's who we're serving. And they need to be considered. And I think far too often, you might be watching this thinking like, this is stupid, dude. Of course that's the case. Or, this is irrelevant. But I don't think we really consider their needs as much as we consider the needs of the advertiser. It's always like, well, what do I want people to do? And that's not really the question. It's what is it that they need? And how do we give that to them through in the bubble of what they want? Because people will buy what they want. But we want to make sure that we're positioning our product as that kind of fit between the want and need axis. So ask yourself today and every day, if possible, who am I serving, and am I doing a good job at it? And I think that it really, for me anyway, it was really powerful. It was a really powerful question, and it got me thinking a lot about how we work with our clients now and how we should work with our clients in the future. And I hope that ends up being true for you too. Hope you liked this video and the content. If you have any ideas, I'd love to collaborate with you. So drop them in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you care about my dopamine receptors. And don't forget to subscribe, because if I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll start doing this live. And then we can actually chat back and forth, which would be pretty cool. That's all I got. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later.